Okay, most high in Christ. Love? Yeah, Tom, pull it back a bit. You sure? Pull it back a little bit, so I got space. Especially if I gotta come over to the podium. All right, most high in Christ. We 12, right? We all love? Come, okay, Shalom, Israel is the Harlem Lashawan Qadash. What does Lashawan Qadash actually mean in the Hebrew? Anybody know? We'll translate it back to English. What does Lashawan Qadash mean? Yeah, what's up?
Holy language, sir?
Holy tongue. Holy language or holy tongue. Tongue and language are the same thing in Hebrew. Okay, so we're going to get some names. We're going to, well, technically we're going to go through some names and we're going to go through, what's it called? Yeah, we're going to go through a few names at first. So Yahweh shall come up. The first name we're going to get is Adam, which means from the dust of man. So like if you could do both Assyrian and Paleo. So do Adam. You know how to spell Adam, right? Adama. Come. You're going to get Adam, right? You're going to get a few of them. Okay, the first will be Adam. Tanakh. Wahia. First name we're going to get is Adam, which in Hebrew means from the dust. When you look it up in the Hebrew, Salaki, if you could give me Genesis, what is that, 2 and 7? Bubble for sure, the water. Okay, also interest. Okay. Salaki Adam. Okay, we're going to get some sisters as well in this. So Adam's the first. Next, Abraham. After Adam, we're going to get Abraham. Actually, Salaki, before Abraham, Ibar, which is Eber or from the past. Ibar. Right? So I can read Genesis 2 and 7, what does it say?
Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And the Most High Power formed man of the dust of the ground.
Of the what?
Of the ground.
Of the what?
Of the ground.
Keep going.
And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
Keep going.
And man became a living soul.
Keep going.
Verse 8. And the Most High Power planted a garden eastward in Eden.
Now stop. When you go back up and you go into the Hebrew, when you go into the Hebrew and you look up Genesis 2 and 7, you'll see formed of the dust of the ground is Adamah. Adamah is basically from the dust, right? The Most High named Adam from the dust. That's where his name comes from. It gets translated as man, but that's the correct, direct translation of Adam. Give me Salaki, hold up. Salaki, that's probably enough. Eber. So he's got Eber on the board. Eber is in verse, hold on 1 second. Salaki, bear with me, my phone is basically dead. Eber. Okay, Eber technically means from the past or the past, right? If you want, if you could, damn, I didn't. Yeah, try to write that somewhere. Well, for Adam, put from the dust, right? For either put past or from the past. Slavic, I have this one. Give me Genesis 10:25.
I don't come. Genesis chapter 10, verse 25. And unto Eber were born two sons.
Eber is a son of Noah through his son Shem, right? Now write Palag on the board. Put Palag.
Palag.
Palag. John.
P-A.
Yeah, John. Well, yeah, John. Palag. Keep going.
Answer. The name of one was Peleg.
For what?
Peleg.
Keep going.
For in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Joktan.
Now stop. What do they mean by that?
And unto Eber were born two sons, and the name of one was Peleg, for his days was
Palag. No, there's no O in Hebrew.
So
Yeah, John. Palag. Huh? That should be an A. John. Palag, right? You don't know what it means?
But it means that his days was the earth divided.
Yeah. What does that mean? In his days was the earth divided.
So like, so was it talking about the flood?
No.
Oh, Slakia, was this talking
God.
about?
Show my son Christ. I.S.U.P.K, you want to give it a try? Read it from the top.
Genesis chapter 10, verse 25. And unto Eber were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg. For in his days was the earth divided.
What does that mean? What is he talking about when he says in his day was the earth divided?
the land mass was separated from himself.
No. Y'all know who Eber is?
Concept. Slakia, if I may, he's the one who kept the language, Lashawan.
When did he keep the language?
Was this
When did he keep the language? When was the language been taken from him for him to have to keep it?
when they when the Most High put the flood on the earth?
No.
Oh, Slakia. When the Most High confounded the languages?
When the Most High confounded the languages, right? Eber was the only man to keep up the original language of Adam, okay, from the dust. He said, I'm going to keep up from the dust language, right? And then taught it to his sons. And to commemorate the event that he himself was alive for, which is the Tower of Babel, which is how it's usually referred to commemorate it, he named his son Palag, or in English, Peleg. Who knows what Peleg means? Come.
I believe it means,
So it'd be funny if you get it.
it means to divide.
Give him a hand. Why is it funny if he gets it? Salaki, who can answer? Bonus question. Why is it funny that I.S.U.P.K got the answer? Nobody knows? You heard the question, right?
Oh, God, I don't answer. I didn't want to answer.
Well, either of y'all can. Well, yeah, you probably will have to answer. You don't know, right? What's the answer?
We went over this last week, sir. I asked the same question.
Come on, man. I answer
His name was Palah because in his day, the.
Okay, no, I said, why is it funny that you got it? That you got the answer correct. That his name was Divine. Oh, you don't know the answer?
Salakia.
Yeah, you don't? Okay. Let's say I know. What does YAHANNA mean? Now you get it, right?
Joseph.
Huh?
Joseph.
Okay, what's the translation for Joseph? You don't know? You don't know the translation for your name?
Well,
I gotta get the what's called for the olive part, but the Most High adds.
the Most High adds.
Because when Rachel had Joseph, finally I gave my husband a son, the Most High adds.
Most High in Christ.
A lot of when you look it up, Salakia, a lot of times you'll see. A lot of times you'll see what's it called? Your count. A lot of times when you look that up, so like when you look up Joseph, it'll say add, but when you go into a concordance and you look up Joseph, it'll tell you, see another word that's used in Psalms, and you basically look that word up, it's YAHANNA. Basically a longer form of Joseph. Like it'd be like saying in English Jehoshaphat. Instead of, like, because you've probably seen Jehoshua in the scriptures once or twice talking about Joshua. What's called? That happens sometimes. We'll shorten your name, especially if the Most High's name is in it. Like Yahweh Allah. It can also be technically translated Yahweh Allah. But what's called, so on and so forth. So that's a little lesson. We got Palag. We're going to skip through the rest of them. Next one who's important is Abraham. 10:25. Salakia, find Adam's name. Salakia, Baba Kushar. I'll get it in a second. Palag. Put 10:25 for Palag too. Well, actually, Salakia, you still at 10 and 20, right?
I'm at 10 verse 25, sir.
Khan, Arphazad begat Heber in 24, right?
Thanks that we get SHALAM.
And Salah begat Heber.
And Salah begot Eber.
Khan. So change Eber to 10:24 and put Palag 10:25. Because Palag was born 10:25. Eber was born 10:24.
Salah, stop y'all.
Khan.
You gotta write a little bit more. Big one.
What? For which one?
Like,
Oh, yeah, that last one.
for the scriptures.
Oh, well, yeah, the scriptures try to make them a little bigger, even if you got to, like, quotation mark them. But that last one, try to make Abraham a little bigger. Not bigger. Even if you got to go down a little bit. Because we'll just erase them because it's recorded, so they can just go back. Yeah, come. That's the beautiful thing about recording sometimes, because you can go to like you want to watch one line. Let's go back and look at what you need. I'm even give you a second. And then 2 seconds later, erase it. Salakia. We're gonna do a few sisters, not too many. Just common names, and so on and so forth. Yeah, put Genesis 2:19 for Adam. Genesis 2:19 is Adam. That's the first time. Well, technically, you could really say 2 and 7. Well, yeah, technically it's 2 and 17. 2 and 7 is Adam. Wait, Salaki, you don't have to erase nothing. Technically, Adam is 2 and 7. Like that's the first time in English that you will see Adam. However, when you go into the Hebrew, Adam means man. So when you see form the man from the dust of the ground, it says Adama bara something along those. I think it's Adama bara Adama. No, Adam. Hold on, let me look it up exactly before I say something incorrect. Stop. I got Tanakh right here. All of y'all brothers and sisters in this truth, y'all want to get a Tanakh? The scriptures in Hebrew, basically the Old Testament. Khan, who's up to Lani?
For Adam, sir. It's
Khan.
A-D, and it's not A-H.
Huh?
It's not A-H.
Well, that's how we would spell Adam. Wait. Yeah, Khan. You forgot to put the A-H. But it's basically Khan. There's supposed to be technically an H in there. But remember, you always put an A and an H, and that means to show the part. Okay, this is the Hebrew for Adamah. The Hebrew, Genesis 2 and 17 in the Hebrew. Wa'ad, Ya'ila, Man, Ha'arataza, Waha. Oh, Salami, I'm reading 6. 7. Wa'yaya Tazar, Yahweh, Alahayim, Ha'adam, Ipar, Man Ha'adama. He formed him from the dust of the ground. Okay, that's the first time you will, well, technically, no. The first time you would see the word man, technically would be 1 and 26. I have to go back and hold up. Let me just double check. Yeah, the first time you probably see the word man is Adam, yep. First time Adam is stated in the scriptures is what's it called? Genesis 1 and 26. Let us make man in our image. Okay, this is Abraham. What is Abraham in the Hebrew? At least you better be able to get one word out of there. And the times that I broke down that word. Okay, we're going to go with Genesis 17 and 5 for Abraham. That's the first time. For those who don't know, Abraham's name was changed from Abraham to Abraham. We're going to go with that one because that's the name we're dealing with. That's Genesis 17 and 15. What is that? Genesis. So I can double check. Bear with me so I can put on my phone. 17 and 15. Come. We're going to go back and do sisters, but we're going to deal with them second. Abraham. Okay, what does Abraham mean? Y'all can't even give me one word? Y'all can't even give me one word. Come.
Father of nations.
Father, he's close. You want to give it a shot, Yahusuk?
I was going to say the same thing.
Father of many nations. He's the father of the Puerto Ricans. He's the father of the Dominicans. He's the father of the West Indians. He's the father of the Negroes. He's the father of Guatemala. He's the father of Panama. He's the father of many nations. What's he not the father of? Better answer. Come.
Esau.
Give me a better answer.
Edomites.
Give me a better answer. Notice I didn't say Israelites. I didn't say Benjamites. Give me a better answer. He's not the father of the Saudis. He's not the father of the British. He's not the father of the French. He's not the father of Russia. He's not the father of, what's another Arab country? Iraq. Well, it's kind of Pakistan. He's not the father of Palestine. He's the father of many nations, but we're his only children. Right. We're the ones called by his name. Right? Now, what's it called? Who knows the story of Abraham? Abraham, we'll get into a little bit of this because it helps with the next one. Abraham was an older man who basically was promised by the Most High, leave your family and go to a place where some crazy Africans live, Hamites. For those who don't know, the Canaanites are Africans, what you today would call South Africans. Abraham was told amongst these people, and in process of time, Salah, let me just double check all these. Mar, Para, Khan, Ba, Ra, Ha. These aren't connected. But most times you good. Okay, so basically he did that and said, I will give it to your children. Here's the problem. Abraham and Sarah had no children. Right? Okay? They did this and moved, and for 30 years they followed after the Most High. Didn't get no kids. Well, really, I'm closer to 40 years. Okay? So, the Most High, I just want to clarify this. I'm going to have you read it properly. The Most High came to them and explained, shucks. Salakia. Okay, Salakia, 1 second. So give me 17. Salakia, give me Salakia. Next one is going to be Yaakov, or Isaac in the Hebrew. Okay, Yakan. Give me 17 and 17. Actually, Salakia. Give me 16. Okay? We're going to get Yaakov on the board. Understand, God has a sense of humor, but his sense of humor can be a little. You got it?
Genesis chapter 17, verse 16.
Verse 16. We'll start at verse 16.
And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her.
Right, so this is talking about Abraham's wife Sarah. Kings of people shall be from her. Keep going.
Verse 17. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed and said,
what?
And laughed.
And what?
And laughed.
Keep going.
And said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is in 100 years old?
Abraham was 100 years old. Sarah was 90. Right? Okay, keep going.
And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear? Verse 18. And Abraham said unto the Most High, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. Verse 19. And the Most High said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac.
What?
Isaac.
What?
Isaac.
Now, what's important to know about this? Like, why did he choose to, you're going to name your son Isaac? What does Isaac mean? Come.
Angelic son?
No. No. Now, mind you what I just had you read. I had you read, honestly, 16 is for context to understand what he's talking about. 17 is what you need to know. No. Okay, spell this out. Like, say this out. Yah.
Yeah. So. Suck.
That's a sock. Yah to zak.
The sock was correct.
No, the sock was incorrect. Or the top. How did you spell Tazaria?
The sock.
Nah. You spell Tazaria with a ta? Spell it with a taza. Taza, ra, ya. No, but you had to write you the ya's there. Ya ta zak. Wa. Zak, kwa. So ya. Y'all be first. Ta zak. Kwa. And ya ta zak, kwa. You come, Falaki, you can get that. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure that's the first spell. Yeah, it says wow. Yeah. Can't do it loud. Wait, Falaki, there's a card there. Yeah, it says or kwa. What's going on, brother? Correct. Kwa.
Ka or the fa.
Ka. Yatazak. Kwa. Okay. Now Yatazak Kwa. Yatazak. You good. This is what we come to the school to do. We come to learn Quran. Come to learn. Shemaka Shaw. Shaw.
Cross.
Quran.
Salaki.
Quran.
Quran. Cross.
Dog. I read it. I'm dimension. Isaac. Now, what do y'all think Isaac's name means? Come. Sure, I had you read it, so I'm gonna give you an understanding. So, strong brother, what's going on? Hebrew class. We've gone through some of the names of our ancestors throughout history and how to say them in their proper Hebrew. So, Sha'al, I had you read. What do you think Isaac means? Come, sir. Now, I said, the Most High has a sense of humor. Right? Well, y'all want to give it a guess? Huh?
Laugh.
You looked it up. Yeah, you looked it up. Why? Why did God say, you're going to name your son Laugh? Come.
Because Abraham laughed when he said when he heard that he was going to have a
Right, laughter or mockery. Laughter or mockery. Don't play dungeons with black people, please don't. Like I got a book, we have a book, Black Indians, that'll tell you Native Americans and black slaves used to hang out in trees in the Caribbean, making fun of white people trying to reach out to them. Like we really will flame you in the worst predicaments. Okay? That exactly means laughter or mockery. Like, yeah, I'm 100 years old and my wife's 90 and we're about to have a baby. Yeah, all right. Mind you, Sarah did the same thing. I'm about to have pleasure, meaning I'm about to get some sex at 91 years old. And that's about to lead to a baby. Okay. Yeah, I believe that. Mind you, the Most High checked her. Just for those who don't want to read that story, the Most High heard her laughing and said, why is your wife laughing? She think this is a game? Okay? So obviously, who's next? Huh? John. Jacob. 25 and what is that, 25? Well, it might be 26 with they're actually named. Give me Jacob's give me Jacob's name. I think that is 25 because it says he's heel holder, so they named him heel holder. Jacob. You know how to spell Jacob? Well, YAHANNA. What's going on, brother? What's going on? So, you familiar with the Hebrew, or?
I took some classes before a long time ago, but
Of course.
You know, I took a couple classes here.
Okay.
Yes.
You've been to a few Lashawan. Did somebody give you? He got a sheep?
Sure.
Okay, most high. Have you been practicing it on your own, or?
I've been real busy. That's right. I haven't seen me sometimes anymore.
I understand we all busy.
Yeah.
Like Con.
I'm a slack.
Con, I'm going.
Hello?
Oh, no?
Hello?
Wow. Salakia. No, you have to, well, Con, you would have to fix that. Salakia. Okay? YAHANNA. Y'all better know this one, please. Okay, YAHANNA. That was a decent dot, but Con, if you want to fix it, it'll look better than you. Con, YAHANNA or Jacob? Well, you put these in Hebrew and then put those in. Yeah, well, no, I mean, these are technically all in Hebrew. That's Ibar. It would be Eber if it were English, and Peleg if it were. Con, switch on to English. So this would be Eber. Actually, for that one, for Ibar, put it Heber. Salaki, I kind of, if I may, and we're gonna get into this. Yeah, you gotta move up a bit. Con. Salaki, if I may, I kind of glossed over this about Salaki, if I may. Put an H, H-E-B-R. Like Hebrew, but Heber. The reason I'm having them do it that way, a lot of times you'll see it spelled without an H, but the reason I put it there is because this is where, obviously, because when I explained it, I explained that he carried on Hebrew as a language. Because of that, Hebrew, the language was then to a point named after him. Right. Meaning, so basically, this is where Hebrew comes from, or Hebrew. I have to get clarification, but I know to say Hebrew, a person, so like if I could, Hebrew, the person, would have a Yah at the end. And if it was multiple people, like Hebrews, it would be Ibar. So for a Hebrew, it'd be Ibar Yah. Anya Ibar. I am a Hebrew. But if you were to say multiple Hebrews, it'd be Ibar Yah. So Anak now Ibar Yah. We are Hebrews. Right? So basically that's that. Now we have Jacob. Anybody can tell me what Jacob means in the Hebrew? Can you translate it back?
1725.
What, for Jacob? Hell no. Jacob's 25 and 25. Oh, that, Isaac is, Salaki, you still at 17 or chapter 17 or not?
I'm in Genesis chapter 25.
You good, just stay there for now. I'll get Isaac in a second. Isaac, if I'm not mistaken, is verse 17. Yeah, 17. You might just switch that. Yeah, yeah, just switch it now. 17.
So Isaac, we're going back to 17. Verse 17 or 17 and 16?
17. Wait, which one is Isaac officially named? I thought it was 17. I'm pretty sure it's 17.
I'll go back to it.
I believe Abraham's 15, and I think Isaac is 17. Or he might have been named in 18. Go to what Abraham mocked. It's the verse right after that.
Salaki, Genesis chapter 17 and 17. And Abraham fell upon his face.
Yeah, go to the next chapter.
Verse 18. And Abraham said unto the Most High, oh, that Ishmael might live
19.
40. 19. And the Most High said, Sarah, thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed.
19, 17 and 19. Because his name's right there, right?
God,
yeah, 19. Jacob would be 25 and 25. Just double check Sha'al Babu Kasha. And then you're going to read the chapter for Jacob. Read 25 and 25, Babu Kasha.
What's the lucky? So I didn't 25.
It's 25 and 25? 26?
It never really says,
It has to say his name.
it says his name, so it's like if I may. Genesis chapter 25 and 26 says, and after that came his brother out, and his hands
Yeah,
were
that's good. That's perfect. Give me 26 then. 25 and 26. Yahusap, Babu Kasha. The water. 25 and 26. Okay. Read 25 and 26, Babu Kasha.
Genesis chapter 25, verse 25.
Well, 26. We don't need
Verse 26, come on, God.
Okay.
And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's veil. And his name was
Keep on.
And his name was called Jacob.
His name was called Jacob, right? Keep on.
And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him.
Right. Now, what does Jacob's name mean? If you can give me, there's a few different translations, but if you can give me any of them, I'll kind of.
One is hustler.
Give me a more standard one. Brother, what did you supplanter? That was the one you wanted to give. How about you? You don't want one I personally like is a little more one West overthrower. Now, hustler is correct. When you look up, the reason I use hustler is because you have to understand when it comes Esau rules the world now. Esau is eternally bitter and hates Jacob for this. Esau knows full well what he did. And by Esau, I mean Edomites today, as in the so-called white man. Today, understand and know this. Because of this, when you look up Jacob, and then in turn, we'll try to look up, since supplanter isn't a normally used word in the Jake vocabulary, like what Jake, says, I supplanted some cat the other day, right? We have to go back and obviously go through it the source. One of the more common, a lot of the words you'll see in there really shows Esau's bitterness. You'll see a schemer, you'll see a trickster, so on and so forth. These give a false narrative. Really, those aren't supplanters. A supplanter is somebody who really beats you and gets over on you. Yes, a trickster and schemer beats you and gets over on you, but at the end of the day, they're doing it by basically unrighteous means. They're tricking you. They're scheming on you, right? Come.
Can we also say they're lying to get what they want?
Basically, yeah, you can basically say that. A trickster or a schemer lies to get what they want. However, Jacob, here's the deal. You're hungry, I have food. But what I want is your inheritance. Esau was stupid enough to take that deal. I didn't trick you.
Right.
I didn't give you something that wasn't. You want this bowl of soup. I want your inheritance. You are stupid enough to take that deal. That's not my problem. Now, definitively speaking, to my not Salaki about the Shah, if you could look up hustler. So for now, put supplanter. Now, look up hustler. Now, supplanter is what you'll get when you look it up in a concordance or so forth and so on. But the thing about it is, Hebrew is a pictographic language. Understanding the pictures helps you understand the language. Certain things, and also Hebrew is a small language. So sometimes words can be put together to one, make names, and two, just to make a whole different word.
God.
While this gets translated as supplanter, the technical translation, when you go back to Genesis 25 and 26 in the Hebrew, is a heel holder. God, when you look up I.S.U.P.K means heel. I.S.U.P.K. He healed. He basically something along the lines of he heals, of his heel, or something to that effect. So right under supplanter, right in quotations or whatever, heel holder. Okay. Now, what does hustler mean?
Hustler, an aggressively enterprising person, a go-getter.
An aggressively enterprising person, go-getter. There's my stupid brother. What's called a stupid brother who couldn't find any food today. Let me see if he's stupid enough to sell me his inheritance. I'm a go-getter. What's called? Why am I? What's it called? Why am I? Go ask God. Why am I having all this trouble if I'm supposed to be pregnant? Oh, because the babies are fighting you for supremacy inside of your body. Till birth, Jacob fought Esau. What does it describe a hustler as? A what?
Aggressively.
Aggressive. Keep going.
Enterprising person.
An aggressively enterprising person. I am going to fight you before I grew arms last week. I'm fighting you. I just grew a foot. I'm going to kick you now. Okay, I just grew a foot, so now I'm going to kick you. Okay? What's called slide? Get better with me 1 second. I just grew a foot, so now I'm going to kick you. Right? So what does he do? What is that talking about? He's not necessarily, they try to portray it like Jacob was evil. Jacob wasn't evil. Jacob caught a come up, which is something Jake's knows so well. Okay? For the sake of the brother, well, actually, we're going to go through, we're going to skip. We might not do the tribes today. We may do the tribes, we might not. So we're going to skip the tribes, and we're going to go for Moses, which is Mashah in the Hebrew. Moses would have been named in verse 2. In chapter 2, Exodus 2, go towards the end of that verse. The end of the chapter. And Salaki, while we're at it, we'll get out to his brothers and sisters. We'll put them on the board as well. Oh, no time church. I should have like 61%.
That's correct, right?
So what?
Mashah.
Mashah, come. Mashah. Right? Okay, hold on. Mashah, which means drawn from water. Mashah, okay, like I said earlier, Slappy, to move that. Mashah is a combination of two Hebrew words. Okay? Ma means water. Shah comes from the word, I believe it's nasha, which means to draw out. So water, drawn out water, drawn from the water. Where did the princess get him from? Out the water. Okay? Mashah, born of water. You got his name? What was his name? Salaki. Like I said, it's probably somewhere in
chapter 2, sir?
Yeah, it should be chapter 2. Somewhere towards the end. Salaki, you gonna say something?
We start drawing water around 12 and 10 verse in that area.
Say what?
Exodus 2 and 10, 2, 11, 12, something like that. Between 8, 9, 10, draw out of water. The scripture you try to get, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it's around Exodus 2, 3, 8 and 10 or 12, something like that.
Yeah, kind of. It's somewhere around. Kind of. 10. Throughout, brother. Exodus 2 and 10. Okay. That's Exodus 2 and 10. The next brother we're going to get is his brother, Aaron. Right? We're going to erase some of those, but first I'm going to have you do Lashawan Qadash, erase Lashawan Qadash in a minute. Okay. Next is Aaron, Aharon. Okay, now that's another thing in Hebrew. In Hebrew, certain instances with certain names, they can be spelled different at certain times. Like I've seen Benyamin is the usual way you'll see it spelled, but you can find Benyamin in the scriptures, no extra yah. Okay, Zabalawan can be spelled Zabalan with no wa in it. Okay, I'm seeing here Aharawan, Aharon, right? Khan. What's going on? Okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me just about to show. You know what? 1 second. Khan.
For Moses in the ancient.
Salakia.
Is that correct, sir?
So what? For Masha. Masha, what? You have something different?
So it's not AH, it's AA because of Cha.
What you mean? Masha. You thought it was Ka?
No, I'm not saying it was Cha, but
Ka,
is
is
it
it?
because we jumped to CH?
Masha.
Oh.
Ka. Okay. I'll get back to you, Salakia. Aharon, there's no written what's it called. I'll get to General Q about that one. Next, we're gonna do Joseph. So if you could erase that on the top of the show, or let wait. Aaron. What's it called? Salakia. Light Salakia. Hold on. What I'm getting is light bringer. Salakia. Hold on 1 second. Let me John. Light bringer. Yeah.
What priesthood is Aaron?
Yeah, don't put anything for Aaron. Aaron's name is undetermined.
Oh.
Yeah, undetermined. So for Aaron, erase that, what you got, and just say undetermined. No one do, okay? And that's the thing, white man the devil. We should know what the hell Aaron means. Like, the fact that we don't know shows his evil because we would have those records. The Jewish man probably would. Aaron has 2 A's. Salakia. No, there's no, it's spelled, in English it has 2 A's, Khan. So next we're gonna get, same guy, different name. First name is Hawashah. Let me actually pull it up so we can all see what the hell I'm talking about. Yeah, because I know you. Yeah, can't erase it. You can erase it. So, Salakia, 1 second. We're about to erase some of these top ones: Adam, Heber, Peleg, so on and so forth. Yeah, erase these 3 first. Okay. Salakia, give them 1 more second. So if you need it, 1, 2. Okay, now erase. Con. Okay. Then yeah, Con. I wanted you to keep up Abraham, but Adam. Right. Next one we're gonna get is, hold up 1 second.
So what's the script? Do we have a scripture for Aaron?
For Adam? Yeah, I have it.
Aaron.
Aaron. Yeah, that was Salakia. Give me 1 sec. I'll get the one for Aaron in a second. Give me 1 sec. Let me just get. Oh, shucks. I'm stupid. Okay, Salakia, 13 and 16. Okay, give me Shea. Hold up, let me just make sure I got it right. 13 and 16. Shea, or that's pretty much the same as Hosea. Not mistaken. Give me that numbers 13 and 16, show about Kashar.
Numbers chapter 13, verse 16. These are the names of the men which Moses sent to spy out the land.
Okay, Hosea is spelled Halashai. Huh? Yeah, Halashai. Hosea is spelled Halashai, right? So Moses sent men out to go spy out the land that we were about to conquer in the name of the Most High, so that we could live there, right? One of these men was named Halashai, right? Now, let this be a lesson to you, to any idiot who tries to say, oh, how you gonna let a man name you, so on and so forth. Like God gives us our name, all that BS. Keep reading.
Oh, fine. And Moses called O'Shea.
O'Shea, right?
The son of Nun.
Stop. This is a man who, he's the son of who?
Of Nun.
The son of Moses.
Of Nun.
The son of Moses' father.
Of Nun.
No relation to Moses at all. The son of?
Of Nun.
Okay, and Moses' name, okay? Moses had a different name for this man. What was that name?
And Moses called O'Shea, the son of Nun, Jehoshua.
Jehoshua, right? O'Shea, let me just make sure. Salakia. Numbers 13, 16. O'Shea is Salakia. Wrong. Yep, O'Shea means deliverer or savior or to save. Put deliverer. O'Shea. Now, who is Jehoshua? Write that a little bigger so brothers can see it. Put deliver / save. Who is Yehoshua? Anybody got any idea who Yehoshua is? Salam, who? Try to raise your hand next time, brother. But come, yeah. Joshua. Okay. Moses changed Joshua's name, but somehow it's wrong to get a name from a man above you in here. Okay. So next, Yahushua. Or for this one, right? Okay, for that year, Numbers 13, it's going to be the same for both. Numbers 13, verse 16. Jehoshua / Joshua / Jesus. I know that's a mouthful, but yeah. So you might have to, just put Joshua / Jesus. For those that are unaware, Joshua and Jesus are the same name in Hebrew. Okay? Which is not uncommon. Technically there's 4 people in the Bible with that name. 2 of them wrote books. 3 of them contributed. Well, 2 of them, the other 2 contributed to the making of books. For those who don't know, there's Joshua, son of Nun. The authors, technically, of Ecclesiasticus is a family with a grandfather who compiled all the records orally, and a grandson who, after it was passed down by his father, Sirach, which is why Ecclesiasticus will commonly be referred to sometimes as Sirach. Once it was passed down to Sirach passed it down to his son, which he named after his father, Jesus. His son then went back and physically wrote down the oral wisdom that was passed down, and that became what we today know as Ecclesiasticus. I believe that's pretty much all mentioned in the foreword in the beginning of Ecclesiasticus. You can read that. But yeah, there's 4 Jesus. And obviously the last one, the gospel is written based off the gospel of Yahushua Mashiach. And also technically Joshua more than likely finished the Torah. Because everybody always want to be stupid and say, oh, how could Moses have written the Torah if he died before it was completed? Like, you do realize Moses never sat down and really wrote anything, right? Like, here's the problem with Christians. They have no rank and order. So they don't, the concept that somebody's sitting there recording everything General YAHANNA says, they probably say that's evil and wrong. Like, when that's order, that's how you do things. You have a man go, there's a thing called a scribe. What do you think the scribes and the Pharisees are? What is a scribe's job? To shut up, sit there, and write all that paperwork down. Right now, if I had money and I wanted a copy of the Torah for my house, I'm going to have to pay a scribe, which is someone whose job professionally is to write up those papers. Simple. Yahushua. Then we're going to get a few judges. Okay, Shemashwan. Or Samson. Right? Shamash 1. What is Shamash? Anybody know? Samson is Judges 13 and 24.
13, 20.
Come. So what? Shamash 1. Right? Shamash 1. Perfect. Okay. What does Shamash mean? Anybody know? Nobody knows what Shamash means? Shamash means sun. The sun. Right? So a few guesses what Shamash 1 means.
Well, it's like a sun was in sun.
No, sun.
S-U.
S-U. What is son? Like my son. How would I say my son in Hebrew?
S-U-O-S-O-N.
Huh?
S-U-N-O-S-O-N.
S-U. S-U. How would I say my son in Hebrew? What's son? It's the Hebrew word for son. Like my physical son out of my body. Shal.
Bon.
Bon. So how would I say my son? How would I say Khan? You should know this.
Banya.
Banya. Banya. Ya means my, Ban means son. Banath means daughter. Okay? So, sun, Shamashwan means sunlight or sun rays. Put sun rays. I'm going to get clarification on what they mean by sunlight. It's a little for a man, especially for Samson.
Rays or rays?
Rays. Rays. Like rays of light, sun rays. Okay?
Sun ray or...
Put an S. Sun rays. Yeah, sun rays. Like technically the definition you'll probably see is sunlight. I've seen sun rays, which is why I don't have a problem putting that there. And honestly, it's Samson, a name like sunlight. I know the name probably in spirit is probably more hardcore. I just got to get the official breakdown of why you would name a hardcore man like Sam, like that brother. Sunlight, possibly. But Sunlight can't kill you, just so you know, and they did live in the Middle East. So. Salakia, Gadiwan, Gideon. Okay. We're gonna get a few of these. Then we're gonna go to a few. We're gonna go a little further up. We're gonna just do like a few more after this. Y'all should know how to spell Slovakia. I'm gonna put it up because we got a young man in the room. Y'all better know how to spell Shemawala. Who is Shemawala? Y'all what's up? Samuel is Shemawala in the Hebrew. We're gonna put it up for you, brother. Like I said, just so you know the taller brother with the glasses. He always sits kind of in the back area. Yeah, Khan, that's his name in the Hebrew. Shemawala means Samuel. Khan. So that's what I was saying. Y'all have known him for like a year and a half. Y'all should know how to say his name. Khan, no sign trace. Gonna do Shemawala. Then probably David. Yeah, Shemawala, David, Solomon. Then what? You had someone in mind? Salakia? You had someone in mind? Yeah, Khan. Samuel, David, Solomon. Maybe that's pretty much it. Yeah, pretty much. Salakia? God, Shamash, one. God, die. There's no I in it. Salakia. There's no I in the dialogue. You're doing a good job, though, Salakia. You knocking these out the park, honestly. Gideon, the Daiwan. His would be Judges 6 and 11. The Daiwan. Who's the 5 greatest rappers you know? Dailan. Gideon means Gideon's with a D, with an I, not a G, not a U. Salakia. Yeah, count. Okay. Gideon means warrior. The word they use is fellow, which is basically a warrior. Okay. Salakia, if I'm not mistaken, that comes from Gad, which means true. So that's the root in that word. So for Gideon, put warrior. Right? Okay, next, we're going to do Shemawa Allah. Then we're going to do Dawada. Then we're going to do Solomon.
So I can erase these?
Oh, yeah, erase those up about Salakia, for those who didn't get it, I meant to tell them just now to wait a sec. So y'all can just go back and re-get those. Get these. Next, Solomon. No, Salaki, Samuel, Salaki. Peace. Samuel. Shema, right? Well, we already said it. Kevin Shamawa Allah, right? I'll do it in the, yeah, Khan. Yeah, for those who don't know, there's absolutely no connectors in the long name Shamawa Allah. You really just said that whole thing out, no connectors. Okay? This is how you would write it in the Assyrian. Hawashai, Yahawashai. So, just so y'all know, this really just went from saves, like savior or deliver or save, to he saves, he delivers, the deliverer, the savior. So for those who don't know, I know we're moving a little fast, but that's the breakdown for Joshua's name and how you get that. Samson means sunlight. Gideon means warrior. Shemashwan and Gadaiwan. Shemawa Allah means the Most High, the power names. Right? Come on. Next is David, king of Israel.
So what's the scripture for Samuel?
Let me get that for you right now. That's probably like Samuel, second Samuel. First Samuel was like one or yeah, that's probably like first Samuel was one. Mm-hmm. 1 and 20. For those who don't know, Samuel, I'll get you. Huh?
You said what?
Samuel 1 and 20.
First Samuel 1
Come.
and 20.
Okay. Huh? Samuel. First Samuel's 1 and 20. Okay. Here's the thing about Samuel's birth. Samuel's mother, his father had another wife, right? That wife gave his father a lot of children, and was evil towards Samuel's mother, his father's other wife, because Samuel's mother hadn't produced her husband any children. Samuel's mother was a righteous sister who went to the temple and prayed in front of the temple and the altar of the Most High, to the point where she looked to the high priest like she was just some crazy drunk lady. The high priest, not giving a damn, and just like trying to just shoo away this crazy drunk lady. What you want? You having pregnancy problems? I no sweat. I'm gonna pray for you, and the Most High is gonna give you the baby, saying whatever to get the woman out of space. Mind you, the brother did the right thing. He did go pray to the Most High, and got this, and the Most High heard this sister's prayer, and she was able to have a baby. Because she was such a righteous woman, she donated Samuel, her actual son, to the priesthood, to serve the Most High in the priesthood. He ended up becoming the youngest prophet in our nation's history to this day. There's not a prophet younger than Samuel. Samuel was a child, barely older than his kids, if older than his kids. God, Dawadah. Salaki, let me get what's called for Dawadah. Basically, that's it on Samuel. Salaki, read the scripture on Samuel 1 and 20. While I get David. Khan, you got it? Oh, Salaki. Khan. David, do we have to go through David's history? King of Israel, anointed by Samuel, almost killed by Saul multiple times, killed a 9-foot African. Technically, the first time he's mentioned is in Ruth, because obviously that's his grandmother, and this is basically more than likely written after the fact. But
I got the scripture when you read it. First Samuel chapter 1.
Yeah, can't read it.
First Samuel chapter 1, verse 20. Wherefore it came to pass, when the time was come about, after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son, and called his name Samuel, saying, because I have asked him of the Most High.
Meaning what? She went to the temple and asked the priest, and the priest, relayed her message. Okay, Dawada. Dawada in the Hebrew means beloved or darling. Right? We're not going to use Ruth. We're going to use Samuel. We're going to use 1 Samuel 16 and 13. Okay? 1 Samuel 16 and 13. Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. And the Spirit of the Most High came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. Okay, that's when David was officially, that's 1 Samuel 16 and 13. Come, 16 and 13. Right? Solomon.
Solomon, sir. I can't see. You said beloved and what else?
Beloved or darling?
And darling?
Yeah, same thing. Slakia. Okay, next is Solomon. Anybody know what Solomon means? First off, okay, here's the best thing. Here's what's so funny. Shalom, y'all don't speak Hebrew. How can you prove them wrong? The Hebrew reading is Shalom, not Shalom. Prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. Yeah, come. Prove them wrong. You want to answer, brother?
Solomon's name means peaceful, I believe.
What is Solomon? How do you say that in Hebrew, though? Who knows how to say Solomon's name in Hebrew? There's like 1 or 2 brothers with that name in the school, too. Nobody knows? Nobody knows?
No.
Shalama. Ha at the end. Shalama. Okay? So if his name means peaceful, and there's no Y, what's another way to prove they don't know what the hell they're talking about? We're not going to get it on the board. Jerusalem. Yarawah Shalom. Yarawah, city, Shalom, peace. Not Yarawah Shalom. Solomon. Okay? We're going to get some vocabulary words from a scripture. Give me Isaiah 9 and 16. We're going to give them a minute to get all that down. And we're going to go through Isaiah 9 and 16. And we're going to do 9 and 6, Salakia. We're going to get a few of those words that are used to describe Yahushua. God. You got it?
What was the scripture answer?
Isaiah 9 and 6. Okay. Let me know when you got it. You finished, brother? You finished? Kyle, check all that down. I'm gonna have you do a few vocabulary words about the show. Throughout. 9 and 6.
Solomon again. I put just correct the scriptures.
Kyle, what about it?
Yeah, the scripture what was that scripture, sir?
Salaki, give me a sec. I'll get it for you.
So like 1 Samuel 16 and 13.
Which one? For which one? Yeah, that was for David, I believe.
No, Salaki for Solomon.
Huh?
For Solomon.
1 Samuel 16, 13.
First Samuel, okay, Con.
Oh, so that's
Yeah, that is there. Yeah, Con.
what was Solomon?
Solomon. Hold on 1 second. Let me get you Solomon. Solomon would be Second Samuel 12 and 24.
Wow.
Con. Okay, the first word, okay, we got Isaiah 9 and 6.
Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. For unto us a child is born, and to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder.
The government shall be upon his shoulder, right?
And his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Right? Okay, we're gonna get a few of these words. Government is Mashara. Government or empire. Right? Mashara. Okay? Now, we're going to get a few of these words that are used. For those who aren't aware, this is Yahushua. These are words that are talking about Yahushua. Government is Mashara. Right? Next is wonderful. Pala'ah. Salakia? Pala'ah. Come. Pala'ah. Come. And that's a miracle, marvelous, or wonderful. The next is counselor. Counselor is Salakia?
Is
Wonderful. Ya'ites. Ya'ites up.
what's the next word?
Ya'it. Yahweh up. Ya'it if I'm not mistaken, means to give advice. Yahweh would mean the counselor, the person giving the advice. Ka. No, Itazah. Zah. Not the Itazah. Salaka. No, Ra. Yeah, Ka. Salakia. Okay, and that's counselor. Okay, counselor. Next is mighty. Gabo war. Gabo war can mean mighty or mighty man. Right? Like the bar, but with a Y. Gabo war. What's wrong? Gaba war. Come. It's not the time. Gaba war. And that means mighty or mighty man. I believe it can also mean translate to valiant man. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it does. Come. Okay, next is Abba Ya'ai. Abba Ya'ai means everlasting. Salakia. We about to get out of here. This is the last one. Well, last two. Last one, Shar Shalom with a Y in it. This one, actually, some instances it does have a Y in it, but not the usual standard Shalom does not have a Y. Shar, meaning Prince of Peace. Shar Shalom. And put a connector in between the La and the Wa. You have to understand, okay, so we're all aware? Shar, nah, there's supposed to be a Y in there, and that's Shalom. Salakia. Shalawama. No, the Shar is correct. Shalawama. Understand, connectors are a U.P.K thing. Yeah, no connector there. Connector. Well, no, that actually would also be connected. I know that's a weird one, but you have to understand, connectors are a U.P.K creation. What I mean by that is because we don't necessarily know what vowel placement, well, there are no vowels, but like when to use the fullness of the letter and not to, we use connectors to let us know that. So you have confusing times like this. No, that's all connected. Shalom. So the La, Wa, and Ma are all connected at the same time. So connect La and Wa, and then Wa and Ma. Like I'll show you. Slakia. Like that. That's basically how you have to do it. And basically, so that's basically. Huh? Come.
I've never seen that before, so.
I'll pull it up in a second. Give me a sec. So just finish that off. For those who don't know, y'all can probably look it up. It's probably still on Crystalline's page. Qadash brought it out. Shalom doesn't exist. Shalom doesn't exist. What? Shalom is just I think General YAHANNA also made a video about it too. What's called? Sometimes I'll have to double check. This might not even exist, but that's what Tanakh says, so that's what I'm going to put down. The Jewish man, because he cannot properly speak our language, had to put things inside of the language to help him speak it. One thing is adding extra was to shalom, to what he calls shalom, which is actually shalom. Some of those times, we have the records to prove it, the Y don't even belong there. It's just straight shalom. But there are instances when it would be pronounced shalom. So what in English would be spelled as, Salami, as soon as you're done. Salakia, keep going. Well, Khan, finish that off. Prince of Peace. Next time, try to write it a little better. You can see that from there, Sean? Come, Messiah Christ. So I'm gonna break this down to water. You go. For the rest of the class. Yeah, you did a great job. Give him a hand, brother.
Yeah, right.
This new officer doing this thing. He struggled hard trying to learn that Assyrian and that Paleo. And now he's a full-fledged officer and he's killing things in this Hebrew.
What?
So I'm gonna break these down. Read it again. Read 9 and 6 again.
Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6.
Salaki, you did make a few errors. This has a high at the end. So, other than that, the rest of this is 12. Con, go, read.
Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder.
The government, Masharah, is on his shoulders. Keep going.
And his name shall be called Wonderful.
His name or his title, which is what name actually means. Your name also can mean your title, right? Pala'ah. But keep going. His name shall be called
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Pala'ah. Keep going.
Counselor.
Yahweh Itazah. Keep going.
The mighty power.
The mighty power. Come, mighty power. Come, keep going.
The everlasting Father.
Everlasting Father, right? Abba Ya'ai. Abba meaning Father. I meaning like everlasting or forever, right? And then lastly,
the Prince of Peace.
Shalom. Okay? Shalom. And that's Isaiah 9 and 6 broken down. And with that, I'll pass the class over to Priest and Officer Sha'ol.
Class?
Yeah, Khan, you got a question, brother?
I.S.U.P.K, like, there's Shalom, it's a Shalom.
Shalom. With a, yeah.